Hey, Master Gardeners, we're in a hurry because our flowers are closing up. The sun's gone and our flowers are closing. These are sun drops, so come take a look. This is a Oenothera, which you're probably quite familiar with because we all sang those songs, Life's a Holiday on Primrose Lane. I'm sure you remember singing that. These were open and gorgeous right before we ate our supper, but whammo, now everything's changing. So here you are, your basic 4-petaled blossom. I wish they were more open. The pollinators were on them and everything earlier. But there you've got those gorgeous, actually just amazing flowers. That's the nature of all your primrose. They have really large flowers. Here's a different species. This is Oenothera speciosa, the little pink one. They've already closed up. Large flowers again. You'll find the characteristic of some of these natives, these native evening primrose, is they do well in disturbed soils or dry soils, and that's why I like this one in particular. I've got it in a real ratty soil in a very dry area, and I love the pink blossoms that'll pop up in the sun, and they're such gorgeous papery blooms. They're spectacular when they're in full bloom. Now this other primrose, I was just inquiring to a master gardener, talked about how I loved primrose, and she gave me these. Last year they were 4 foot tall in my garden. Well, this spring I didn't like them that tall. The ones, they're biennials, truly. Biennial means they're a rosette of leaves the first year. The second year they come up and bloom. So this is my second season for some of these stalks, and I got obviously a little upset with them and cut them off. So that's what I did with this guy, and I love it nice and short. Did you know you can do that on a lot of your tall perennials? Once they come up and get about 50% of their height, you can come in and do a soft pinch, cut them off and take them down to 1/3. Now look at these guys over here. They fell over on their sides and they've made side shoots, and they're shooting up to make their flowering stems. So I love it. Even the one under my feet here, here's another one that laid over. I love this blanket. Look, here's one that's nice and erect the way he's supposed to be. Typically these evening primrose will get 4 feet tall, but because I've cut all these back some, they're shorter. And if they sow, I think in the late fall and they just come up early spring, maybe they don't have time to get tall. The flower only lasts a day, 2 days maybe at the most, so they're not long lasting, but they make so many flowers repeatedly over and over. They're pollinated by bumblebees, but they think also that they're pollinated in the evenings by some of the moths because the throat to the corolla is so deep down to where the nectar is. They think that the night moths. But they love full sun, they love disturbed soil. A great native plant, put in a mixed border like I did here, or put it in a rock garden. If you're looking through my garden here, you'll see I've cut back some of my perennials. These are some of my salvia that I bushwhacked because they finished most of their blooming, and I want to try to inspire some new blossoms on them. I cut back some of my geraniums. I cut back all my dianthus back here. These are little tiny dianthus that had come up, and I've cut all them back, trying to get them started for the cooler weather. So that's another thing that I'm out doing in my garden. So whammo, I never realized I had so many natives growing in and out of my garden until I had you guys visiting. So enjoy the summer.